Hello everyone, in this video I'll be solving Cambridge A-Level Information Technology paper for practical. This is the specimen paper for 2025. You have been supplied with the following source files. I have copied the files here. You can find the link for downloading these files in the description. Create a folder called examination. You must save all the work in this folder. Copy the files into this folder. Do not delete or clear the files before submitting. So let's create a new folder. Examination. And copy all the files into this folder. You must use the most efficient methods to solve each task. Step 1. Open and examine the bookings.csv file. This file contains the record of bookings for holiday villas for a previous year. You will need to use similar fields but not the data. Open and examine the surcharges file. So I have opened both the files here, bookings.csv. If you look at the data, you can find the details of the villa here, the details of the customers, and the start date. We are not going to use the data, we are just going to use the similar field names. And this is the surcharges file. Surcharges file, you can see for each region the surcharges shown here. The surcharge will be the same every year. The surcharges are the same within each region. Use these files to plan and create a database to record future bookings for the villas. The database must be normalized to third normal form. Include a field to record the number of days for the booking. Include 4 customer records as test data. So we need to first normalize this. So in order to do the normalization, we need to split the table. So we know that we have data for the customer as well as the data for the villa. So let's first copy the data for customer. Open a new file. So we have all the details for the customer. Insert a new column here for the customer ID, which will be the primary key. Customer ID. Let's give the numbers from 1 to 3 as the customer ID. So let's save this as customer. Save as. Customer, and I'll save this as CSV. Now let's copy the data for villa. So these are the data for villa. Villa name, region, sleeps and pool. Open a new file. So I have pasted the data for villa name. If you look at the data, you can see there are duplicate data. So in normalization, we should remove the duplicate data. So click on any data, go to data, and then you can remove duplicates. So select the option remove duplicates. Give a villa ID as the primary key. So we can see 350 villas are there. Now let's save this file. Save as villa. Save as CSV file. And in the customer file, we need only 4 records to test the data. So let's remove this. We can close the original file. Now we have region and surcharge. Now surcharge, you can see this is shown as percentage, but we cannot import the percentage value into database. So I'm converting this to number. So select this and set it as number so that it will show decimal number instead of percentage. Now let's save this. Surcharge. Now you can close this. Let's create so we have customer table, villa table and surcharge table. We need to create a booking table in order to create the link. So let's open Access. The name is future bookings followed by your candidate number and center number. Save inside your examination folder. Create the database. Now let's import the files. Go to external data, text file, first the customer table, first row contains field names. The primary key is customer ID. Now let's check the data type. Customer ID is long integer. All other data are text. Give OK. Next. Finish. Next we need to import the villa file. So villa. Give OK. First row contains field names. Next, the primary key is the villa ID, and you can see villa ID is long integer, sleeps is long integer, pool is shown as yes or no. So let's give this as yes no option. Give OK. Then next, finish. Now we need surcharge file. Primary key is region. So region surcharge is double because it's a decimal number. Give OK. Next, finish. All dates must be stored in the format DD, MM, YYY, and all field names must follow traditional naming conventions. All data types and formatting must be suitable for their purpose. So let's check one by one. Go to the design view of customer ID. So title, given name, street address, city. Let's give this as post C capital. Here we can just give email, and we can make this short by giving telephone. Save this. Now go to villa, design view, villa ID, villa name, region. The names are fine. Next, surcharges, region and surcharge. That's also fine. Now we need to create the relationship. Before that, in order to create, there are no common fields by which we can link this table, so we need to create a table for booking. So go to create table, design view. The table name is booking. So we need a primary key for booking table, that will be booking ID. Then we need customer ID to link the customer table. We need villa ID to link the villa table, and then we need the start date. And according to the question, they have asked you to add a new field called number of days for the booking. So number of days, that will be number. All dates must be DD, MM, YY format. So in the start date, the format must be start date, you need to give date and time, and the format must be DD, MM, YY, YY. All booking must start on the same day of the week. Use the weekday function to make sure the field for the start date will only accept Tuesdays. So bookings will be accepted only on Tuesdays. Now weekday function, there is a function called weekday. Weekday function will return 1 if it is Sunday, 2 if it is Monday, 3 it is Tuesday, and so on. So on if it is Saturday, it will be 7. So before setting the validation, let's save the table. Right click, save. So the start date must not be Tuesday. So in the validation rule for start date, I'll give weekday of start date. Since start date is a field, we have to give inside a square bracket. Start date, close the square bracket, then close the weekday function, not equal to 3 because Tuesday, it will return 3 if it is Tuesday, so it must not be equal to 3. And validation text, you can give bookings cannot be made on Tuesdays. Next, the villas can be booked only for whole weeks. One whole week is 7 days. the data entered must be the number of days. So for the number of days field, we can enter only number of days, but the booking can be made for whole weeks. That means if you can make bookings for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like that, but it should be entered in the number of days. So if you are making a booking for 1 week, it must be 7, for 2 weeks 14, and so on. The villas can only be booked for a maximum of 4 weeks. So we can enter the value in the number of days. We can enter only the values 7, 14, 21 and 28, that is up to 4 weeks. So in number of days, the validation rule is you can give 7 or 14 or 21 or 28. Only these 4 values will be accepted. Now the validation text you can give. Bookings must be for whole weeks up to a maximum of 4 weeks. So this is the validation text. So save the table. Now before creating the relationship, you can see that we need to create a form later, and in the form, when we are doing the booking, the users must be able to enter a customer from a drop down list in this way. That means in the booking table, the customer ID must be shown in this way, and also for the villa ID, the users must be able to select the data from here. So in order to do that settings, I'll go to customer ID. Instead of number, I'll give lookup wizard. Lookup wizard, and then I want the lookup field to get values from another table or query. So you can select this option, click next. So the customer ID will be from the table customer. So which fields we need to show, that needs to be selected. So we need customer ID, title, given name and surname. So customer ID, title, given name and surname. There is no reference to the sorting, so just click next. So hide key column, the primary key will be hidden if this is selected, but we need to show the customer ID, so untick this. Click next. And finish. So give yes. So this will be, the relationship will be created automatically with the customer table. Now same we need to do for villa ID. So give lookup wizard. Next, select villa table, and we need to add the fields. Villa ID, villa name, region, sleeps and pool. So all fields are there, so add all the fields. Again show the villa ID also here. Click next, next. Finish. So these settings have been done, and we have already given the validation rules. Save the table. Now let's see the relationship. Go to database tools, relationships. Now you can see The relationship is there between villa ID and customer ID, and we need to add the surcharge table also. So go to add tables, add surcharge table here, and it will be linked using region. So region to region in villa. So create. So now this is the required table in third normal form. Save the table. So the database is ready with all the validations. Next step, create a form to allow users to enter customer details and select a villa. The form must look like this. So you can see the format of the form here. We have the booking ID, then the customer ID, all the details of the customer, villa ID, the villa details, and the booking details here. So let's create the form. Create form wizard. First we need booking ID, then customer ID. We should take customer ID and villa ID from the booking table because we need to select the customer and the villa. So customer ID, then we need the details from customer. So go to customer, add all the fields. Next we need the villa ID. So I'll add villa ID and the details of villa. Then we need, from booking we need start date and number of days. And from surcharge we need the surcharge. Surcharge will not be shown, but we need this for calculation. So let's add this to the form wizard. Later we can remove. Click next. Next. So the title is given as bookings form. Form should look like this. You can see booking ID here, then customer ID and the customer details, and the villa ID on the right side, and the villa details here, and also the calculated fields and the booking fields here. So let's arrange the form in this way. Go to the design view. The background color for the title is yellow. The font color for this one is red. The size is not specified, so let's make it . And we need the logo here. Go to insert image and select the villas logo. Draw the logo here. Now the background color is pale blue here. Booking ID is bold. black color, and the size is given like this. Same for customer ID and villa ID. So bold, black, and 14. The size of the field is small for customer ID. For title, given name and surname. This much is enough. For all other fields, let's make it this. We need to bring the villa details here to the right side. Move the customer details little down. It is outlined by a rectangle. So let's draw the rectangle here. Go to form design. You can see rectangle. So draw the rectangle enclosing the details of customer. Go to format, shape outline. It must be blue color, the line. Now in this table we have cost per day. So let's move this. Cost per day, which will be a calculated field. This is a calculated field, and we have start date, number of days, end date, and total cost. These are also calculated fields. So let's draw one rectangle here. Is blue color. You can see there is a button here for the new booking button, or to add a new record. So the button should be shown with the image. So let's add a button here. Go to database form design. This is a button, so draw the button here, and this button is to add a new booking, or it will be to add a new record. So go to record operations, choose the action, add new record, click next. We need a picture to be shown here, so click on browse. Select the button. Users must be able to enter the start date and the number of days of the booking. So you can see we have start date and number of days here. The cost per day is calculated as the number of people the villa sleeps multiplied by 100. If the villa has a pool, there is an additional charge of £100 per day. The surcharge is calculated and added to this total. The end date of the booking is calculated as the start date plus the number of days of the booking. So first let's calculate the end date. So add a text box here. This will be end date, and end date is given as the start date plus the number of days. So equal to, you can enter the formula, start date plus number of days. Please make sure the field names are correctly typed in, otherwise it will cause errors. So let's check whether it's working. Go to the form view. So if you enter start date, if you enter Tuesday, it should give you an error message. So you can see it is giving you an error message. So let's enter any other day. Number of days is we can enter only 7, 14, 21 or 28. If I enter any other value, it should give you an error message. So you are getting the error message here. So let's give 7 here. So the end date has changed. Next, let us calculate the cost per day. It is calculated as the number of people the villa sleeps multiplied by 100. So let's insert a field for cost per day. So insert a text box here. So it's cost per day. Cost per day. And we'll be entering the formula in this one. So you can go to the property sheet, in data, in control source, you can click so that the expression builder will be there to calculate. So according to the question, it is number of people the villa sleeps multiplied by 100. So it is sleeps multiplied by 100. If the villa has a pool, there is an additional charge of 100 pounds. So we need to check that. Plus, if is given by IIF, if and only if pool equal to yes, if it's yes, we need to give 100 pound, otherwise 0. The surcharge is calculated and added to this total. So we have the surcharge already added. So this is the total amount plus surcharge. So this plus surcharge multiplied by this amount again. So we can give 1 plus the surcharge, because we need the whole amount plus surcharge multiplied by the whole amount. So we are adding 1 plus the surcharge multiplied by this, which will give the same result. So let's enclose this complete amount in a bracket. This multiplied by the whole amount means 1 plus surcharge multiplied by the whole amount. So 1 plus surcharge. Close the bracket. So give OK. Now let's check. So I have selected villa ID here, and number of days 7 I have given. So the cost is calculated as 856. We need to set it as currency. So go to the design view. It shows 0 decimal place, so let's set it in that way. So select this, again go to property sheet, click on format. Format must be currency. So surcharge field was added to calculate that. We don't need to show the surcharge in the question. They have not shown surcharge here. So let's remove surcharge from here. End date we have already calculated. Now the total cost of the booking is calculated as the cost per day multiplied by the number of days of the booking. So we already have number of days here, cost is here. So this is the cost. So let's give the name instead of text. This is, if you go to other, you can see the name of this text box. So in order to use in the formula, I'll just change it to cost. So now this field can be referred with the name cost. So we have total cost is shown here. Total cost is cost multiplied by the number of days. So add another text box. Total cost. So this is, go to data. This is cost multiplied by number of days. Cost multiplied by number of days. Give OK. So if you check the form view, you can see the total cost shown here. So now let's again set this to go to property sheet, format, set the format to currency and 0 decimal place. Note the following additional requirements. The users must be able to enter a new customer or select an existing customer from the drop down list. So we have already done this. Same, users must be able to enter a villa from the drop down list. That's also done. Users must not be able to select or edit the other fields. Users must be able to enter the start date and number of days. So the users will be able to enter only the data, start date and number of days. Users must not be able to select or edit the ID fields or the customer booking or villa tables. So we need to select all the fields except the start date and number of days. Select all the fields, go to property sheet. On data you can find enabled, you have to make sure it is no, and locked must be yes. Now if you go to the form view, you can see that you cannot select or you cannot edit. Only these two can be selected. All these cannot be selected or edited. So that is the end of the database task. The other tasks will be soon uploaded. Thank you for now.